Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, Jon and Nez, hanging out, Black Nail Dog app, platform of the people, Underdog Fantasy. We're going to talk a little hoops today. We got a little hump day hoops, 6-gamer to work our way through, some back-to-backs, but we're getting stuff submitted right now. Talk about Bam's performance from last night. We didn't talk about SGA's performance from the night before there as well. But yeah, talk a little hoops here, but fun stuff to share right off the top here. I reminded everybody yesterday, we were behind the paywall there. If you guys didn't see yesterday, tons of content from us first day back, jumping in the saddle there. Nez was on the Swolecast. They're talking about all the NFL free agency stuff that was going down. I did a paywall, a little bit of Dog Bowl coupled with yesterday's slate breakdown there, but also had some good evergreen kind of like NBA takeaway stuff. And then with Pete, we did Off It on the Clock. We did like a 30-minute recap of Dog Bowl there, and then we mixed in Pete's first dinger with our guy Dark Sheep. So loaded day yesterday, and then kind of like a more manageable slate today. Let's leave it at that. But one fun thing I just wanted to lead the show with today: first time ever, the solver, man. We talked about the solver, and we talked about how well the solver crew did out at the Dog Bowl. 4 top 10s from solver users there. First time ever that they're doing something like this. 20% off first time solver users with the code BADGE at sign up there. Links in the bio. I'll drop it in the chat as well. So if you guys have never dabbled, never messed around with it, we use it on the show every single day for football and hoops, and potentially more sports in the future there. But yeah, that just want to put that on people's radar. Very exciting new deal for the people, Nez.
Yeah, that is big news. That's big news because, like you said, first time we've ever had a promo code for the solver. And, not that it's great for our EV if more people start using it, but it's really good. And if you were on the fence about it, great opportunity to try that, and also, of course, support the bros. They lets them know that we're out here selling, doing good work. But yeah, no, it's awesome. So if you haven't tried it yet, like genuinely, like very much recommend it. I use it every slate where I'm home.
Yeah, I mean, like conversations we've had in the past, like I was using it during the Dog Bowl slate there when I had my computer out and whatnot. But like conversations we've had in the past is like these things become table stakes as the game evolves, right? And there's just like a baseline necessity that you kind of need to compete on a night-to-night basis. And, it starts with, watching the show and learning, a process. Then it goes into, okay, maybe I need some paid projections to tinker with and whatever. Now, all of a sudden, I need the tools that then help me do it in real time, better, faster, stronger, whatever. We see this in any form of game, right? And it just so happens that this is the game we play, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, couldn't recommend it enough. Shout out the solver for rocking with us for another year and giving us a promo code for you guys.
Damn right. This is fun. So joined up yesterday. This is Jaden and Dylan's dad.
We are purchasing it now.
We are purchasing the solver.
Family plans, I guess, are available. I don't know. Don't tell them you're sharing logins, but
no, it's a family. It's a family affair, baby. It's a family love for the games, and now everyone signs up. It's just like the Badge Bros community here. I love it.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Nez, I think we should start with last night. Everybody wants to talk about Bam and this sort of thing. Our guy from the weekend here, Jeb Bush, is in the chat here as well, saying that Bam's still a bum. The free throw Bam from North Jordan, who won a slate over the weekend there. Sometimes Bam, never Bam. Who knows here? I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty locked in to that game. The Canada Puerto Rico was in a rain delay. And I was locked in on Bam. And it was very impressive and dominant for the first quarter. And then it became very much gimmicky and not real life basketball. That being said, the dude scored 83 points in a game, which is more than some individual teams have scored in games this season. I mean, some flowers are due here, regardless of how he did it and who he did it against.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not pushing back on anybody who thinks that was like ridiculous,
Yeah.
and derogatory, because of course it was, right? He played 42 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously you play 42 minutes if you're going to score 83 points, 43 free throws, which obviously it's not like the Wizards were in cahoots with them to do that. So like, I don't really give a shit about the free throws, like. Yeah, it would be cooler if he was like draining mad threes or something and getting it that way. I don't care about the free throws. The hack a wizard thing was definitely like odd, like that. That's like obviously everyone's big beef, and yeah, that was silly as fuck. But like also like kind of cool that they were doing that. The one thing that I think makes it legitimate or legitimizes it more, I guess you could say, is like it's not like the Wizards wanted the record to happen. They were triple teaming him. That picture is going viral of 3 dudes on Bam at once. Like they very, very much did not want to be in the record books. So it's not like they were like, yeah, go ahead, Bam, like run it up. Like they did not want that to happen. So I don't know, silly as fuck.
There's definitely some cut-togethers of like the fouls and stuff like that, and they're very legitimate. Like they are fouls, and the reason they were fouls is they were rotating bodies to get in there to play him hard in the paint to deny him, access to the ball, right? But that being said, every trip down they were letting point Bam take place. Like it was. I don't know if ethical hoops is the word we're looking for, but it was a little bit of a different sport. Like, it was a different sport last night.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can choose whether or not you want to care or not, whether or not you think it matters or not. But like, I don't know. You don't get it to 80. You don't get to 83 points without a little bit of funny business, I suppose.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I think back to the Kobe one and it was iconic and whatnot, but like the dude took like 60 shots, right? Like it was literally just like Kobe shoot, Kobe shoot, Kobe shoot. Like maybe the fouls weren't there, but it was like that very much wasn't a real life basketball game either, right?
No, everyone knew what was happening there. He wanted to get to 80.
Yeah.
Like, like it's a similar thing. It just looks different. And it's Kobe and people, have a hard on for Kobe, RIP, but like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. The reason I brought up the SGA stuff at the top of the program was it's kind of funny how we see the lens of basketball and like achievements and that sort of thing, because my take is, Bam goes for 105 fantasy points, plays 41 minutes. He goes 83, 9 and 3 or whatever with a couple stocks. I think he had 4 stocks. And then SGA the night before in a competitive game environment, nationally televised game against Joker, 38 minutes, 35, 9, 15, makes what should be the game winner. Then they come back, ice one, and then makes another game winner. Like just truly insane, right? So just back-to-back insane individual performances. And it's just crazy through the lens of history that SGA performance will be forgotten because it's just another game of SGA being awesome. And then the Bam one will be like talked about forever with 83 points. Yet the SGA one was like significantly better real life basketball performance.
Yeah. We're no one's really gonna remember that SGA game.
Right. Yeah. It's just it's
everyone was talking about Bam last night, and they still are. We still are.
Yeah, exactly. And rightfully so, man. Like, I mean, I as much as we've joked about the Bam shit for years on this program as like a never ceiling guy. And the reason we joke about never ceiling is prior to this game, he had 2 games this season over 30 actual. I believe he scored 32 and he scored 31.
Right. You career high in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Like of the season.
Yeah.
Season high in the first quarter. That's crazy. I wonder when they decided. When I didn't watch the whole game. I was checking box scores, saw that he had 32 or whatever, like we just said in the first quarter. Said, holy shit! All right, and then I And then I saw you had 77 and the apps were glitching. And I was like, hold on. and then turn on the game. I wonder when they decided that he was like, I'm just going to go for it.
I think it was probably, well, obviously after having like the historic first quarter, Spo's also like a player's guy too. As much as we joke about Spo rotations and like we never know who he's going to start and we never know whatever, he is like a player's guy where it's like he did understand, the franchise record being like, I believe it was 61 prior or 62, something like that. Like when a dude puts up 31 in a quarter and he lets him play out the quarter just because he's hooping so hard, and him and Sar were going back and forth. Him and Sar had both scored 11 each when the score was 11-11. And they were just going back and forth at each other. Like, it was pretty cool. But
I like that.
Yeah. But I think they effectively decided when Jaime's first rotation was eclipsing. And they were like, let's get the starters back in early, and then let's see what Bam can do at the tail end of the second quarter, and then decide at halftime kind of thing. And he just kept going nuke and then went back, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, I didn't get to actually like see it. But wow, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Good for
And
Bam.
yes, here's the people in the chat here. Like our guy Len Keith is saying, like, yeah, he ruined the JJJ game. Dude, preaching to the choir, bro. Like, we'll look at mine in a second here. Jay did preach to the choir, bro. Here we go. I'm in lockstep with you guys.
Yeah, that was actually like really fucked up.
Yeah. he didn't even touch the ball in the second half, man. He was just kind of just out there, Nobody touched the ball in the second half.
Yeah, like we got to get on with these games, but that was such a shit run out. Like, to absolutely nobody was reacting appropriately to the hero Q tag, and no one was drafting JJJ. It made no sense. And to get that run out was just, classic.
Okay, guess what his JJJ's usage was last night in a number.
I'm not good at guessing this, but I'll say like 5%.
Dude, it was 6.4. Like, Jaime off the bench is usually like you don't even need him to start in that game. Like, Jaime in this setup off the bench playing 28 minutes should have been a 38% usage guy. And he just didn't even touch the ball. Like, it's so funny.
That's just it's comedy, bro. Like,
dude, nice. He still had like 25 fantasy points, right? Like, he had 20 in his first rotation. Yeah. And his first rotation was like 7 minutes with a 15 usage and 5 minutes with like no usage and no points, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And boy, I hope Bam doesn't break Kobe's record tonight. That's the only thing that can go wrong for me.
What a lesson in range of outcomes. You'll fucking love to see it. All right, dude. As much as we joke about the slate and stuff, we did have some very ethical winning lineups last night, which I was very proud to see. We'll take a look at the results tab here. Your boy got 70 entries in, 69. Nice in the main there. Not 6-7 in my generation. It was a 6-9 kind of generation. Take a look at the pick and roll first. Manaray been around for a long, long time. Love to see it up here. Giannis plus Bam, which was kind of that start you needed after JB got knocked out, and so many of those teams lined up like that. Obviously, there were contrarian Bam falling teams in the other contest, but in the smaller field one, it was just the combination of Giannis plus Bam. Duran comes back. The projections didn't love him all that much, so he comes back to the right-hand side of the board. Austin Reeves puts up 50 fantasy points without LeBron there, and then Onyeka plus Denny do their thing in the middle. Nice lineup from him. Anything to say on that one, Nez, or just the main contest here?
No, just a shout out to the friends and family.
Yep, absolutely. And then speaking of friends and family, our guy Chris, I called him the hardest working man on the platform last night. And dude, what a beautiful scroll to Montas Buzelis down there. Less than 7% owned, a 6.52% owned Montas to go alongside a little bit of a GM start there with the Cade plus Bam, but very obtainable. Then you get the KD in the middle rounds there. He was kind of pushed up later in the day, pending people's like opinions of Goon and that sort of thing, who's just not playing great right now. He gets the hero swap there with the VJ Edgecombe pick, and then the Montas scroll. Just a beautiful lineup.
Yeah, that was sick. I did a couple Montage shares. Didn't do
Nice.
enough because he was just like so cheap. I'm like, man, he's really hitting ceiling lately.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, like you really needed obviously the stone cold nuts here. And Chris got him. Not that it was hard to, not that it was impossible to get, but Chris landed on it. And yeah, great call out. Chris absolutely is the hardest working guy on the app, like bar none. He's in everything.
Absolutely, man. He's always grinding hard. I respect it so much. So to see a guy get rewarded with both a good play and with a little bit of a combo, it's like, oh yeah, hat tip for sure. Yeah, man. Johnny Footballs is up here. Had a great time with him over the weekend there. A Geese Santos swap. Love to see it. Also got to Montas in this one. Giddy with a really nice night with that 57. That game going to overtime there. And then a similar start there. We talked about the Jalen versus Cade debate yesterday and how I was kind of on the Jalen side of the fence there, and that turned out well when Kuminga got knocked out. Same with Lynx, saw him on the weekend there. Great time with him. Great showing at the Dog Bowl. A second and a third place. Pepper Tony's been around forever. Casey Breezy's been around forever. Johnny Footballs has 2 in the top 10. Pepper Tony always hanging out in the chat as well. So mad love to everyone on this one.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, just friends and family galore up there.
Yeah, I love to see it. Played it so sharp, Nez. Played it so sharp in my mind, but got overly concentrated with it here. Got the Jalen Johnson stuff right. Got what I thought was so smart with the Jaime stuff right, 74%. And then played the Austin Reeves, played LeBron out and pulled up Austin Reeves and just took him between 22 and 50 or 22 and 30 every damn time I could. So really happy with the way I played. Played a lot of Brandon Miller. I got on to the Melo stuff just because the projection was so bullish, but I did talk about it on the show that I was like front end back to back Melo, man. Like, I don't know, but he was in foul trouble. So, maybe we give that a little credence, and then maybe they would have rested him tonight if they ran him up to 30 last night, but now he'll probably play tonight, having only played 22 in the foul trouble.
Yeah. I was on that spot. And then listen to you talk about it a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I guess that, it gave me pause, but like the way that it ran out, I'm kind of like backing on Melo tonight, like you said.
Okay, cool, love it. We'll talk about that spot in a half second. I'm not gonna lie, Nez, this is probably one of the prettiest of my exposures of all time, and it amounted in $0. I was very proud of the way I played yesterday.
I mean, you should have been. Reeves call was really sick. I did not get to nearly that much Reeves. I was really worried that this might be the bronze slate, or that, just LeBron coming back. Not that like it was going to be LeBron smash slate, but I did have a lot of LeBron because he's going in the 6th round.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was unfortunate.
Awesome, dude. Anything else to say on last night? How did you fare financially?
Minus 50%. So not ideal. Wavered a little bit. Thought we could maybe recoup, break even. Ended up faltering at the very, very end there. So RIP.
Cool. Yeah, not the result we were looking for, but we move on. There's always another slate.
In fact, there's one tonight.
All right, Nez, let's talk about it, man. A Joker slate on a somewhat smaller slate where it's 6-person or 6 teams on the slate here. Lots of back-to-backs as we originally stated. I'll give you the full rundown of those in a half second here. But yeah, obviously the macro talking point is kind of like the way the Joker will probably separate in terms of projection relative to everything else that's going on here. Yeah, no real like massive Q tag shape-shifting the slate yet. There's some Q tags in the last round that we could talk about. There's Keynote buried down there. There's Jakob Poeltl, who didn't play the front end last night. And then there's Josh Hart, who just always has a Q tag and then always battles through. And it was nice to see his minutes get back up to full for that nationally televised game against the Clippers the other night there. But outside of that, man, looking decently clean thus far, but not everybody submitted.
Yeah. Definitely clean, no D tags for me to take advantage of. Just some like Utah stuff, and then Pirtle I have a pretty decent bag of, so kind of
Okay.
worried about the ways that can run out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Sounds good. Yeah, why just like the Pirtle spot? Because it's the Pels and fives against
Yeah,
the Pels, or yeah?
yeah, fives against the Pels, and been a fan of the way Pirtle's been playing since he's returned from his big absence. So yeah, just liking that in the sixth round. But I'm starting to mix and match a little more because it's deep for a slate this size. There's definitely options.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like where your head's at there. I did note yesterday that like the nice thing about the Pirtle stuff is it's not the back. You know, the Q tag was an illness. It's completely
Right.
separate. He's been dealing with the back thing for so long. So as long as he can go tonight, second night of the illness tag, and he's feeling a bit better, I mean, 28 to 30 are definitely in the cards here for him tonight.
Yeah, that was my thinking. Like we don't
Mhm.
love illness tags, but second night of it, hopefully he's feeling better.
Yeah,
Take
exactly.
take some Dayquil, bud.
It takes some take. Well, one thing I just wanted to point out, just Pels in general here, is like, you know, they had a bunch of garbage time mixed into the fourth quarter of last slate that they played, but like the centers versus Pels narrative is a little bit stingier than it once was there because they're doing some different looks with like the Herb Jones and Zion combo in the starting unit, and then doing DeAndre Jordan into the ball game, you know, ever so slightly, and that's a better defensive look than when Derek Queen was out there, but I think the narrative still holds water.
Yeah, yeah. Something you talked about before in terms
Mhm.
of like their defense, and yeah, I'm still just gonna play it. Like I am a little worried that the Pels aren't what we used to think that they are,
Sure, yeah.
but yeah, kind of hard to not try it.
Yeah, no, I like that. All right, dude. Macro questions before I get into the actual slate itself. How many drafts have you done? Any favorite targets just yet?
Yeah, let me see here. I've done 60 of the main so
Ooh,
far.
ooh.
Yeah, we're back. We're fully back. And the story of my slate so far is don't love it, but in terms of like stances this early in the draft, but a lot of Anthony Edwards, a lot of Alperen Şengün, and a lot of Jalen Suggs.
Love the Suggs one. The Ant one, I can definitely get on board with. And who was the other one? Sengun, kind of like returning to form kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
just like, fun matchup against Denver. Not that like Jokic is a pushover, but
No, yeah.
fun matchup for sure there.
Cool. Respect it, dude. I'm seeing some interesting stuff in the chat right now. They're talking about the Waymos. Nez and I experienced the Waymo life for the first time as well. There, it was weird, man. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the Waymos. I think I like my drivers behind the wheel, but I can see why people are into it, and I guess it feels safer if there was like 80% Waymos on the road, but when you're the only Waymo on the road, it feels a little weird sometimes.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Our Waymo like overtook a biker on the bike in the bike lane, which was like really interesting.
Yeah.
He kind of gave us a little look like, what the fuck? But I was like, hey man, not us. Not us, dude. You can't get mad at us. It was way more I was way more comfortable than I expected. And yes, of course.
Yeah. That was good. Good one, Blake. But yes, yeah, I fully agree with you. Actually, the second time it did feel much safer. The first time was a little interesting. Like the roads were clear and it was late at night, and we were coming home from the Lakers game, or no, sorry, from the Kings game rather. The first night there, and yeah, we were. I was like, I just dared our buddy Oaks in the front seat. I was like, just touch the wheel, man. See what happens when you touch the wheel. And then instantly, it's like OnStar from back in the day. Like someone calls you and is like, "Is it an emergency? Why did someone touch the wheel?" Like blah blah blah. And that made me feel like way safer to just know that like I was being monitored, and it like happened instantaneously. That they were like, "Oh shit, yeah, we gotta jump in now."
Yeah, I would have never done that. That was insane. I couldn't believe that you guys were grabbing the wheel. But I like that you tested the security for me when I wasn't in there.
Test it, man. Yeah, I wasn't just gonna blindly go like down the street in this car, not knowing what the ramifications of me pulling the wheel was.
I think that's smart. Just be ready for it.
Yeah, trial and error, right? Nez, this is one more macro point I just wanted to hit it before we do the slate. Station bringing up just like how the dynamic of the league shifts after a night where someone goes for 83. Like, do you think guys will be like going home tonight, watching those highlights and being like, shit, man, Bam got 83. Like, I'm Ant Edwards. Like, I'm on Natty TV. Like, I can fucking do this thing. Or like, do you think it has any cognitive impact into like, I mean, this is purely anecdotal, but do you think it has any like semblance of relevancy going forward?
I tend to think no. Okay. I don't think that's how these guys think. Sure. But yeah, I could be wrong. Because these guys have egos, but I think that they're focused on the larger goal here.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm gonna jump over to the beautiful Unabated interface. Here we go. Home of the scores, the totals, the lines, all that good stuff, the props, etc. Yeah, I'm gonna go lay of the land here for the people, Nez. So we got 6 games on today's slate. We have 5 teams on back-end back-to-backs. Okay, so we have Toronto, we have the Rockets. We have Minnesota, who played in LA last night, but now play in LA again. So not a big travel one there. And then you got the Hornets and you got the Kings there. So those are the 5 back-end back-to-backs. So 6 games today and then 9 games tomorrow. Denver and Orlando are on the back-to-back. But Orlando gets Washington, who, we just saw what Bam did to Washington. So I think they're going to be a little bit more focused on this Cleveland game this evening. But the Denver one's interesting because Denver gets the Spurs tomorrow. And these are 2 very important back-to-back games for the Denver Nuggets in terms of standings and what's going on here to get the Rockets on a back-to-back for the first one and then get a rested Spurs team the second night. Plus, they're traveling. They're home tonight, and then they travel to the Spurs tomorrow. I mean, it's not affecting my thoughts on how much Joker's going to play or anything like that. But I'm just putting it on people's radar there. Anything thoughts on the back-to-backs?
I always struggle with these, dude. Like I never really know how to properly weight them. But the one thing that does make me feel better, like, we talked about the Hornets, is that like the way that LaMelo's previous game ran out, I feel okay taking him. Okay. But yeah.
Okay, cool. In terms of filings, no T-Wolves yet, no Hornets, no Kings. So hopefully by the time we get to those games, maybe we have a little bit more clarity, but they do not have to submit until 2 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Pacific. So 5 p.m. Eastern. So we could be waiting on those ones a while because those are 10 and 10:30 Eastern games.
Ugh. Yeah, never fun.
Yeah, never fun. So there's definitely some interesting swap dynamics that could break up this slate because it's so, it's so scattershot, right? Like we get the early game, 7:30 Eastern, then you get an 8, then you get a 9, then you get 2 10s, and then you get a 10:30. So when you have more West Coast games than early East Coast start times, some of this news is going to be changing. You guys got to be ready for swaps later in the day.
Yeah, that happened last night with LeBron, and it didn't fare out too well for me.
Yeah, good point. And obviously just nothing great to swap to later in that day, given like the landscape of those games too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We just got a couple news nuggets here as we were talking there. Jakob Poeltl Q tag, Trace Jackson Davis Q tag, and then we have Josh Hart now downgraded to doubtful. So my previously speaking about him playing through Q tags, maybe 36 last game was just too much, or maybe he tweaked something at the tail end. And then DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith, is out for the Rockets on the second night of the back-to-back there, which means they probably submitted and everything else is decently clean, which is kind of positive for us. All right, dude, let's rip it. First game up, Magic and Cavs there, the East Coast one. This is the first of the nationally televised games. It's Wednesday, so there are 2 ESPN nationally televised games, the first being Cleveland at Orlando, the second being the Rockets at Denver. This is a 226 by the unabated line and 3.5 to the Cavs there. Injury report as follows. Jared Allen is out for the Cavs there. Harden is listed available with that thumb fracture thing. Max Strus is returning soon-ish, maybe questionable, or not questionable for this game, but question mark, might be returning soon. So becoming a little bit better pick in the playoff dance contest there, but he has the out tag for this evening. Keon Ellis with that fractured finger as well as listed available. And then we got Tyrese Proctor as out and G Leaguers as out on the Magic side, still without Franz Wagner. And we got an out tag on Anthony Black, who got banged up prior to the Dog Bowl slate there, then had a Q-tag on Sunday, did not play there. Jonathan Isaac and Chase Richardson are listed available in this one. So let's start with the Cavs here, Nez, and I'll just let you take it away here.
Yeah. So the Magic, we're a little more friendly, or a little. We don't hate the Magic matchup necessarily right now, which I feel like I still have a little stink on them. But I'm at the field on Spida and a little underweight Harden and Mobley. Mm-hmm. I just feel like that's fine because of the Rockets that are available on this slate. I'm kind of taking them over these guys. I was kind of liking LaMelo over these guys a little bit. So I'm worried that ADP is just going to be undefeated here, but I thought these guys, as far as Mobley and Harden go, were just a little overdrafted. The Harden one scares me less. He still has the thumb thing, I believe. Yeah. I don't think his thumb's healed yet. I know.
He's still listed, but listed available.
Yeah, he's playing, but we're not seeing ceiling. But Mobley, we are probably close to seeing ceiling Mobley, especially with no Jared Allen. Mm-hmm. So I am a little worried that I'm going to miss out on a Mobley ceiling night. How do you feel about him?
I like it when Wendell Carter Jr. is in there more. So Wendell Carter Jr. missed, whatever it was, 2 games ago there. So I kind of like that matchup for Mobley. That's just kind of anecdotal because I just view Jonathan Isaac, if he gets some backup 5 run, or Goga as bigger problems for Mobley. So I actually kind of like the Mobley matchup. And I'm kind of in on this Harden narrative that he's just being over projected in recent memory because we've seen a big usage drop since he's become the Cavs. And then Harden's game was, that 2-man game off the bench with Jared Allen. And now Jared Allen isn't there. So what's Harden doing from a creation standpoint with the second unit? Well, it's probably tethered to Mobley, and Mobley playing some extended minutes. So that's probably a net benefit to Mobley to be in the starting lineup alongside at the 5 position without Jared Allen beside him. And you're playing alongside Donovan Mitchell. And then if they run a second unit stint and Mitchell comes off the floor, well, now you're just looking to run pick and rolls with Harden over and over again. And then again, that's Mobley's music. Yeah. So I'm low-key more in on Mobley than I think projections and ADP will suggest today, but it's kind of bro science. I'm not sure the models will help you get there today.
Yeah. I think that's a really good thought. The project, it makes a lot of sense, right? I think the ceiling is real. I think the ceiling is real there. It's just wouldn't be the first time I lost a bunch of money chasing a Mobley ceiling,
Sure. Yeah. Actually, funny thing about Mobley, everybody gets those take-home posters from the Dog Bowl there with your lineup that got you there, and I was really hoping it was going to be Sabonis on it because it was the 5% scroll the F down Sabonis, and my picture on one of them is Mobley and the other one is Isaiah Collier. Just the most John shit of all time.
That Collier one really needs like a golden frame, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I
beautiful.
gotta get that one framed for the setup. When we move and I get the new office set up and whatnot, I'll put it up. I'll put it up there.
Good, good.
Yeah. Okay. Is anybody else draftable on the Cavs here, Nez? Keon Ellis still dealing with the finger thing, but he's kind of been a revolution, not in terms of fantasy scoring, but just in terms of good basketball with this team. Schroeder has that kind of like second unit handling. Tyson, we like to play him on the nights when Wade isn't there or Sam Merrill isn't there. So tonight looks a little convoluted. Probably not.
I don't think so. I hadn't given it any thought.
Okay. So only 3 Cavs in the pool for us today, and they all go at the upper echelon. Orlando here, you talked about liking Suggs. Suggs played his first back-to-back. I was joking at the Dog Bowl there. I was kind of upset that ETR took Suggs out of their projections to start the day there at the Dog Bowl because I was like, oh, man, there goes one of those micro edges. Because he hadn't played a back-to-back since 2024. And then he shocks the world and plays a back-to-back. Didn't wind up mattering because Paulo went nuke in that game. And then they didn't get garbage time. So Suggs' minutes were held in check, but just encouraging to see him play a back-to-back, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, I had no idea about that back-to-back stat ever.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting.
So I think we're kind of both in lockstep that we like Suggs a little bit more than his ADP and figure he'll be a riser as the day goes on. I put Paulo on the cover because he's, we talked about the peaks and valleys of Paulo. He's been playing really well in recent memory, and man, he was poised to break that Dog Bowl slate if the Bucks had any semblance of resistance there. Just thoughts on Paulo and just kind of the dynamic of like him versus Cat at the top of the board. That's kind of what I was going for with the cover.
Yeah, I think I'm going to beat Cat over Paulo.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I mean, I am not the Paulo whisperer,
Sure.
That is not my game. Never really has been. I'm preferring Bane and Suggs to play the Magic side of this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty light Paulo.
Respect it, my friend. Respect it in general there. Man, there's a lot of reasons to really like the Cat stuff over Paulo tonight, despite, what we've seen from Paulo in recent memory there. And if you're going to be overweight the other two, it just naturally makes sense to be underweight that's upper echelon. Talk to me about Bane, dude. Who do you like in that range? Looks like a decent, catch and shoot matchup for Bane here. Been playing really strong minutes. Three's been falling a little bit. Although I will point out to people, I was listening to the post-game presser because, Gallagher wasn't working on the weekend there, so I had to do my own digging for the Dog Bowl. And I was listening to the post-game presser of that Minnesota game. That 30 points Bane scored. He didn't hit a 3 in that game. And then that was the third time this season that he scored 30 and not hit a 3, which is just so crazy, man, because you just assume if Bane's getting to 30, like he's shooting 45+% from 3 or something.
I didn't think that was possible. I would have never. I didn't think that he could score like that, like at all, let alone 30. Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting. Couldn't believe it. Anyways, probably a slightly better matchup for him here. What are your thoughts? You obviously like him, but in and around where he goes, do you like him like significantly more than, Brandon Miller's in that range, Zion's in that range, Trey Murphy's in that range? Do you like Desmond Bane that much more?
I think I do. I do. There's some like while we're looking at it here, I mean, I don't think I can get him over LaMelo really. Maybe like sometimes if maybe I'm like way overweight Melo, but like, yeah, I like him at ADP. I think, the Pelicans guys don't have like they've got their work cut out for them, I think.
I respect the take. I
Yeah.
respect the take. Absolutely, man. I'm looking. Sorry, I'm just looking for the usage split here. Yeah, definitely a very much three-headed monster in that Bucks game. When you take Franz out and you take out Anthony Black as well there, you could see this like Desmond Bain 23, 28 for Suggs, 33 for Paulo. Also Suggs with 5 fouls in that one. That could have cut into his minutes as well prior to blowout there. So a lot of reasons to be bullish and a little more concentrated on the Magic side than we've seen in recent memory.
Yeah, that's why I like these guys today.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
it, dude. Well said. Okay. Anybody else draftable here?
I mean, I do not really think so. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. They're concentrated, but I'm not getting to your boy Jet Howard.
Yeah, no. I don't think tonight's Jets night, but I do love me some Jet. 25 each of the last couple games there. Javon Carter actually has had some nice box scores dating back. He played 30 in those games where other guys were missing. But yeah, I just can't play it on a slate like this. I think Tristan Da Silva would be my favorite of like the scroll options here. Like just seeing a nice minutes increase without Anthony Black there. So 31 in the T-Wolves game, which was a bit closer. Say again?
I said respect.
Yeah, he's been playing some good ball in recent memory there. Bad matchup for Wendell Carter Jr. Mo Wagner can do it from a rate standpoint, but we're like talking like 18 minutes. Like it's not worth getting to on this slate. I think we can move on as.
Yeah, let's go before we end up hitting on Jet Howard, bro. We don't need that.
Nice. Next game up, Pels and Raptors, dude. We got a 234.5. Pels low key playing some nice basketball right now since getting DeJounte back there. We'll talk about that in a half second here. And then obviously second night of the back-to-back for the Raptors here. The Cudle. I was going to go Pirtle and Q-Tag together, and I went Cudle. The Pirtle Q tag looms a little bit large here because we're gonna like this for a small ball Scotty 5 matchup potentially if Pirtle can't go, or we're gonna like a little bit of Pirtle in the 6th round if he can go this evening, as attributed to your draft percentage there. Highest total on the slate there, 234.5, and what is that? I clicked away 2 by way of the Raptors on the road there. Raptors have already filed. It's that Trace Jackson Davis Q tag, still without Colin Murray Boyles for, they said, the entirety of this road trip. So keep an eye on that one going forward. And then Jakob Pertl has the Q tag. Pelicans side pretty clean here. They lost Bryce McGowan to a fractured toe injury, so he's going to be missing for a bit here. He played like 20 last time out, so those will get reshuffled around. And then the G Leaguers have the out tags here. So I mean, man, at first glance today, Nez, I was really in on some Scotty and some Zion, but yeah, I don't know what was piquing your interest in this one.
Yeah, dude, this would be in a vacuum, just like a Scotty smash. I'm like, am I an idiot for? Yeah, like, am I an idiot for not wanting to play this shit? Like,
no, I mean it's him and Sengun have kind of been like the upper echelon stars at the top of ADP who have been scuffling a little bit and deferring to others a little bit more than we're accustomed to, and haven't been putting up the big box scores in recent memory. So just kind of like bro sciencing your way off of it and being like, hey, he gets the bad matchup of the bunch here. Yeah, well, I could see that.
Yeah, like it just, it would not surprise me at all if he dropped 60 on the Pels, but I'm just, this is just another guy that's like making me poor by chasing his ceiling,
Right.
So I'm kind of light Scotty. I think I have like 12%. Let me actually fact check that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up to like 15% Scotty.
Okay.
So I think other people are feeling the same. I have a ton of Raptors in general, dude.
Okay.
28.
Like
oh, go ahead. What?
No, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, 28% RJ, 28% Ingram, 17% Pirtle, and then 6% IQ. And I think the IQ one is one I'd like to increase a little bit.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I mean, if we're looking matchup based, okay, so this is my thoughts. I think if Pirtle is in, BI and Zion go up and down the floor together, right? And I think, Scotty and Zion go up and down the floor together. BI probably gets the Herb Jones treatment. DeJounte and IQ probably hit it up versus each other. And then the fives play each other. And that would mean DeAndre Jordan is out there at some capacity against Jakob Poeltl. RJ gets the Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, is that awful?
No. I think it's pretty good for everyone except for BI versus Herb is kind of tough, but BI is going to try and get his.
I know, right?
In a revenge game,
Yeah, that's definitely back in my mind right now.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fine. I don't know. I don't really know. Oh man, much love. Gumby is doing his rounds here. Originally we did tease that the champ of the Dog Bowl was going to be on the program today to do the official winner's circle, because no championship on the platform is official until you are officially inducted into the Badge Bros winner's circle. It looks like Monday. So Gumby posted a really nice video of the weekend. Nice, I think it was like 12 or 13 minutes there of just like through his eyes and through Brian's eyes and just kind of their experience at the Dog Bowl. That was really cool, man. We've always done like the cut together videos and stuff like that, but no one's done it like that. So I was really, really happy to see that, shared that on the socials and stuff like that. So Gumby will be on the program on Monday, but 50 Badge Bros memberships, man, much love. That puts you in the thick of things. That puts you in the top. I'd say it puts them in the top 5 to 7 of all time gifted memberships. So
we've had some crazy hits on the show and some crazy giveaways. So he's up there, but he's definitely not one, but that's okay. You can't win everything.
Yeah. Do another 50 Gumbo. Yes, we love Gumby. Much congratulations, but Eggers will not be tuning in on Monday. That it all checks out. Thank you so much, Gumby. Although I will say, and I was saving this for the winner's circle, that when he came on the program from the Dog Bowl, when we just kind of did the janky hotel room setup there, he did say if he won, he would quit his job immediately on Tuesday. And here this guy is working his ass off all week because his boss is out of town and he's taking on more work after winning the 200K.
Embarrassing to not stick up to his word, but that's okay.
It's so good. Yeah, real quick, who's the winning players here? Real quick.
Minwoo
Lee. All right. I like it. Minwoo Lee. All right, dude. Let's get back to the hoops here. I'll leave that on the screen for a bit. Mad love for Gumby. He dropped off 50 at yesterday's show for Pete on Off and On the Clock there. Mad love, bro. Appreciate you so much. Had a great time hanging with you. Yeah, dude, I want to get the IQ up a little bit. I do want to get a little bit of Jakob Poeltl in my life as well there. The BI one is kind of just like, I don't know who to click in that range. And I think Scotty's going to out-project where he's going right now, but that's a little bit evergreen with Scotty. So I'm in lockstep with you, Nez. I'm in on Raptors today, but I am, I'm pumping the brakes a little bit where I'm like, I'm not going to do my crazy ass JJJ stance from yesterday with one of these guys.
Yeah, that there might not be another like more perfect spot than the JJJ spot last night. So yeah, it's not here. There's just too many ways that things can go awry.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the Pelicans side of things here, man. Dude, really just solid box scores for DeJounte since coming back and really nice usage from a handling perspective. But what's happened is it's kind of brought the ceilings of Trey Murphy down because he's doing a little bit less of the handling, and then taken the ceiling of Zion a little bit down because we don't see point Zion anymore here. But that being said, this looks like a good spot, highest total on the slate. I think there's 4 draftable Pels here and probably nothing beyond that, just because of the way they're splitting minutes elsewhere and the fact that Herb does kind of nothing offensively with the first unit there. Yeah, walk me through what you see on the Pels.
Yeah, like I kind of mentioned, I was a little nervous about these Pelicans, just given this spot. So, I mean, I'm light Zion. Zion projects really well, always does. I'm light Zion. I have 17% DeJounte Murray. Excuse me. And then I have like 12% Trey Murphy. I think I'd like to get the Trey Murphy up a little bit more. I want to continue to take DeJounte because he goes kind of late. And I'm just going to be light Zion, I think, if he's going to be, the riser here. I think the mistake I made was not getting on Zion a little more before projections. Instead, I was just like, I came in with the mindset that I'm fading Zion today.
Okay.
So I'm fading Zion today. And it feels like one of those things that you can, the payoff I think can be massive because not only is he like not hitting ceiling, he's not even giving you like 40 right now.
Yeah.
It's been pretty poor in terms of like where you have to draft him. Like Zion ceiling, I'm never going to say never, but yeah, I got a Zion fade and I don't feel that bad about it.
Okay. Sounds good, dude. Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I think the way the Zion fade breaks best for you is the way you've set up your rosters already, and that is Jakob Poeltl plays basketball tonight. He plays the 5. Scotty goes on Zion, which makes it a worse matchup for Zion, and then Poeltl's waiting at the rim for him when Scotty gets beat or for the double team, and those things aren't as desirable for Zion.
Nice. I didn't even mean to do that.
I mean,
totally. Absolutely. That's why I was doing that. Duh.
Station's asking in the chat if DeJounte's up to full. DeJounte has touched 29. I believe that's the season high for him. It was 29 in that competitive game against Phoenix. They had blowout, and he had a little bit of fouls in the Washington one there with the 23, 27 against the Lakers, 21. I mean, he's just a good, solid, real-life basketball player who does it in multiple categories. He's Dyson Daniels, but he can shoot, is effectively what he is. Like maybe not as good on the defensive end, but can still get some stocks kind of mixed in there. So I'm willing to play him with like a 28% usage because this unit, so we have seen this unit for like 3 or 4 games now. Like he gets like the 28 to 25% usage with that first unit. And it's kind of like Orlando where they're all between like 28 and 25. And whoever's hot or gets going, Bay is a bucket when he gets going and he can hit a corner 3 and that sort of deal. But like DeJounte is always like in control, the facilitator, getting a little bit of everything going, right?
Yeah, he's very efficient, and just seeing him ramp up has me excited. The price is like absolutely right for DeJounte.
Yeah, and decent rebounding guard with this unit when DeAndre Jordan's not out there, because they're not like the biggest team in the world. Like they got wings and they're long or whatever, but they're like, he could still get a couple boards because there's not like a traditional 5 out there like ripping them all.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Saddiq Bey in the last round there? Feels like a cheap ceiling shot and good leverage off the Zion teams to me.
Yeah, I'm not doing it as much as I probably should, but yeah, like 100% great leverage and just a guy that no matter what, like is just going to outperform his projection. Yeah, like he's been beating his projection the entire season. So probably a good idea to get a little bit of Saddiq Bey.
Yeah, especially with the highest total game on the slate there. I mean, Raptors are really good in transition, like from a defensive standpoint, which is kind of another another knock against maybe Zion and another feather in the cap of like Bay being like, hey, Zion goes to the rim, sucks Scotty and Pirtle, and now there's the kick out. Or DeJounte does that, and now Bay can hit the three. So, like, Bay and Trey's roles are not as far apart as their ADPs suggest.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So like cost adjusted, it makes way more sense.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna refresh, get the most recent injury update, and we'll jump back over to Unabated. Also, shout out to the Unabated guys on the forward facing right now. Fam came to the dog bowl there. It was good to see him doing just great work on their end there. But man, Jon helped me out a lot. I said this on the paywall show, but I'll say it forward facing, and I'm sure I'll say it again at some point. They did a lot to really help me out in the dog bowl prep in terms of like the projections and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool of them to give you a hand. Considering that we work closely with them and everything, it makes sense. But yeah, that was cool. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Nez, we got this Jazz team that is sometimes tanking out loud and then doing weird stuff with the Q tags. We dealt with that on Monday's slate, where out of nowhere they just dropped Q tags on Isaiah Collier and Ace Bailey, and then Ace Bailey wound up not playing, and then they dropped him on Keynote and Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey wound up not playing, but then Keynote wound up playing, and now he's got a Q tag again tonight. So we'll talk through the dynamics of their tankability this evening, but it shouldn't be hard for them to tank tonight because they're 14-point dogs on their home floor right now against the Knicks, and the Knicks have already listed Josh Hart as doubtful. Most recent injury report here, Josh Hart doubtful. Miles McBride is out in this one, and then the Jazz have a Q tag, and it's an illness tag on Keontae George there, and then they have out tags on some of the G Leaguers, and then all the usual suspects who are basically done for the year here in Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen, and Yusuf Nurkic. And then John Konchar just received an out tag there as well. So, yeah, I mean, interesting dynamic on the Utah side, but let's talk about the front end of draft boards first with the Knicks in particular here.
Yeah, we are evergreen. Maybe not necessarily here, but we're always pretty light Knicks, it seems like.
Yeah.
Great spot for them here. No Josh Hart, for what it's worth, matters more for like OG and Mikal. But this is a great spot for them. Massive favorites here. Yeah, let me just take a look at my Knicks percentage because I still like in the most nutted spot possible. Yeah, I have like 17% OG, 14% Cat, 10% Brunson, and like 2% Mikal. Like I still have trouble getting there because I was doing Ant over Cat for most of the day, which has me just like with a boatload of Ant. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play this through OG and Mikal mostly. Okay. Yeah, like you had a good point about Brunson, man. Like we can get the 45 from him, but like, do we get the ceiling? You know what I mean? We don't really get those ceiling games that much from him, dude. No. So I don't know. I'll probably capitulate and get a little bit more Brunson in my life, but like even in this like nutted spot, like he's such a weird fantasy player, you know? You've talked about it plenty of times.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I kind of feel similarly to you. I mean, taking Hart out kind of perks my interest in like Bridges or OG or something like that, just because like every matchup on the floor right now is going to pop for them. But yeah, I don't know, man. The Cat one's so hard for me because we love using fives against Flip, right? And like our whole thing is like attack Filipowski with fives, but I hate playing Cat when Mitch Rob is there, right? And Mitch Rob's the true five who could be like the direct beneficiary of like going up against Filipowski. And then, Will Hardy has openly talked about how he wants to improve his rim protection defense because, they know that Filipowski's a sieve down there, right? I did see a note in the chat earlier that I was like, that can't be right. that they had like one of the best rim protecting units right now. The stunner. I'm not. He's like, Utah has top rim defense, and that's where Cat scores. That I mean, we've been attacking Filipowski all year. Like, if you're looking at cumulative stats that maybe incorporate like when Nurk and Kessler and like those guys were there, like maybe you saw something, but I can't imagine that's the case. But anyways, I don't know. I'll go do some research on it later here and put anything
maybe it's like Taylor Hendricks being involved more or something. Like, is Cody Williams like a brick house down there? Like, I mean, where is this coming from? I'm not saying he's full of shit. It's just like I never would have believed that.
Yeah,
and I'm still not sure I do.
The Hendricks thesis is gone because he was part of the Memphis deal, but the Cody Williams playing 31 a night might be something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, we've kind of worked our way into talking about Utah, but let's finish our thoughts on the Knicks here. I think Cat is okay at ADP. I think Brunson is okay at ADP, but I imagine all of the models will have them way under on this, like way under on this. I think OG is at a good price point, and it's an okay matchup from him. I think Mikal is probably like one of my favorites at the back end right here. I think Mitch Robb just doesn't play enough to hit ceiling, which is unfortunate because we love the matchup. I might have one or two cheeky Jose Alvarado shares today, man, where it's just like, whoa, he's the guy who just stays on for garbage and gets to 31. And it would probably be as a one-off or as a two-man for like this guy blew it out for the first 3 quarters. Jose closed it all out kind of thing. And maybe Jose's too good a player that they skip over him when it comes to like garbage and they go straight to like the Kolix or whatever, like that kind of thing. But I might have a cheeky one mixed in here.
Wow. I was not that I would have never in a million years expected to hear Jose Alvarado's name on this program, but maybe I haven't. Maybe I just don't know you as well as I thought I did, John. But you will have a share.
I will have one. I guarantee I'll have one or two.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's a pick and play for me.
Yeah, there you go. GM to Chris, gave him some love off the top for one of his really good lineups last night there. GM to Bound. Nez is working you in the double dribble pods there. Yeah, slow Joker Blast. We talked about that. Josh is saying that they funnel so many threes. Okay. I respect that. Sounds good. Yeah. Josh said that on the Stochastic. I mean, I really respect Josh. So okay, interesting. I'll go back and watch that and listen through because I'm really curious about what the point is on rim protection for Utah. Then, because I haven't seen that in anything that I've researched yet. So maybe there has been a change in recent memory with Filipowski playing less minutes. So I'll take a look at that later. Let's talk about the Utah side here. Nez, is there anything to get excited about? Filipowski ADP seems really rich to me, but the box scores back it up here. And if he's going to play big time minutes, even though the matchup isn't great going against Mitch Robb and Cat and stuff, but I don't know. Do you like the Filipowski stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't, man. He's getting the classic base projection bump because he opens up with when there's no ADP, really, really high.
Okay.
And that's why he's up here. It was an immediate no for me. Like, he's been hitting ceiling, so I am worried that it's just the way that shit works. It's like, yeah, you could be right about the fade, but he still finds his way to 45, and you're like, fuck. But no, I am not in on Kyle Filipowski at all today.
Okay, cool. Respect it. What about Keynote with the Q tag in the last round there? Sat out because of the illness. Played because of the illness there. It was Ace Bailey who sat out the Q tag. in the Warriors game there. 29, 24. If he gets up to 30, he could definitely matter in the 6th round. Do you think it's a spot he can get up to 30 tonight?
I mean, I do. If he's playing, sure.
Sure.
It's a huge decision point because I think Collier would get overdrafted, but I still think that he'd be a pretty good play. Collier would be if Keynote misses, but yeah, it's tough, dude. It's tough. I've been mixing in a little Keontae George. I don't have much. Don't get me wrong. I really don't have much. Yeah, I have like 2 shares of Keontae. Okay. So
I got a spicy take with this one today.
Let's hear it.
My spicy take is they did the Q tag rest day for Ace the other day, and then George played, and now I think they do the vice versa today. But that being said, even if Keontae George plays today, I think I still prefer Isaiah Collier. And I think it's because of the spread, what I think is going to take place with the ball game. I think his minutes, like if you give me 28 of Collier, where he's closing versus the bench unit in garbage time, I think those 28 minutes are worth more than Keynote's 24, where because I don't think they keep this game competitive is kind of what I'm getting at. So I think those 24 minutes, if you told me you got 30 out of Keynote, this is a terrible take by me. But if you only get 22 or 24 off of the illness, I'd rather play Collier. And that's kind of what I think is going to happen today.
All right. Yeah, no, I like that. I've been taking more Collier, like 2 ways that breaks in the favor, right? He could just outscore him anyways, and he could just miss.
Yeah. Stunna saying that Utah is the worst at defending threes, so that is definitely the music for Mikal Bridges and a little bit for OG there, which makes, and now you take Hart off, which just makes the spot better for them. So those guys will be a little bit more intriguing in my rankings going forward here. Kobe Williams has been playing a shit ton, dude. 43 minutes, 37, 35. It's low ceiling and it's very minutes reliant, but is there anything there for you?
That was for who? I apologize.
Cody Williams or anybody down here, really.
Not against the Knicks. Not against the Knicks, and barely if it's a good matchup, Yeah, just kind of off this.
Yeah, I think Ace would be a little intriguing if George sits, but probably not. Sensabaugh when he starts, like he's just a bucket and he's like a usage monster. So like there might be something there, but they rarely push him too. So yeah, I think it's kind of just this Collier and George at ADP mix and match combo right now, and a little bit below on Flip.
Yeah, I'm way off Flip.
Okay. Let's keep pushing here, dude. Nuggets and Rockets up here, 7 by way of the Nuggets in this one at 231. Rockets on the back end of the back-to-back there, and then the Nuggets are on the front end of the back-to-back. We saw Aaron Gordon return, which was, dude, really impressive return. He had like 19 points in like 7 minutes in his first stint. Like it was crazy. And he played like north of 25. We'll look at it in a second. I think he played 27 his first time out. So that's kind of crazy. Jamal had the Q tag for the left ankle sprain that looked like pretty bad. And then he played through it and now has a probable tag because of it. Cameron Johnson's missed a couple in a row and now has a probable tag looking to come back for this one. They are still without some of the G Leaguers and Peyton Watson. And then on the Rockets side, second night of the back-to-back there, G Leaguers listed out. DFS is listed out. Obviously, Steven Adams done for the year then. And Jayshawn Tate and Fred VanVleet are out in this one. Let's start with the Nuggets because it's usually a pretty quick and easy, clean conversation. Thoughts on the Nuggets tonight outside of Joker at 1?
Yeah, I was light on Murray to start just because of the Amen treatment. For whatever reason, I never care that much about matchups, but for whatever reason, I was hung up on this one. I'm gonna try to get more Jamal. I have like 11% right now. So I'm gonna try to get more. I like Jamal Murray, dude. Like in a vacuum, I really like Jamal Murray. So really no reason for me to to fade him because of the Amen treatment, when I think that this is just going to be a pretty fun matchup here. I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm trying to reverse course on that. And I like Aaron Gordon tonight, man.
Okay.
He's third game back for Aaron Gordon. Don't expect him to open up with like 20 straight points again.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
OKC.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
But we know Aaron Gordon's good, dude. And, give me 30 minutes of Aaron Gordon. I'll take that in the 6th.
Yep, absolutely. Fully agree with you. Also better spot on paper, even though it's not a great spot, but better spot on paper than that OKC matchup was. And if he can get it done in the OKC matchup, it's like, all right, leave the light on for anything for Aaron Gordon right now.
Seriously.
Yeah. Anybody else that you would scroll to this evening?
No.
Yeah. Agreed with you there. Let's have the Houston conversation, man. Kevin Durant continues to be good in recent memory here. Yesterday's ADP, Nez, was Amen, Sengun, KD. Now today, after a couple box scores, it's KD, Sengun, Amen. So it's just funny how on a night-to-night basis, these things keep flipping around here. Do you have a favorite of the group tonight?
I like I think I like everybody here. Let me double check these exposures. %43 Sengun.
Whoa,
that's too much.
That is too much. That's too much
Sengun. But I usually take him first in these with these Rockets, and KD's got a higher ADP, and I have 18% KD, 12% Amen, and 1 Jabari Smith share snuck in there, and I'll probably do that a little bit more.
I like the take Jabari in the last round. Seems pretty good. I mean, like he probably doesn't get. I'm trying to think where Aaron Gordon goes. I guess he probably gets Cam Johnson, and that would be positive for him now that Cam Johnson has the probable tag and is going to play. And then Amen probably gets Jamal on the other side of him, kind of deal, right? Like KD gets Aaron Gordon. That would make sense, right?
Yeah, it checks out to me.
Yeah, that means Jabari's matchup would be probably pretty decent.
Yeah, he's just like I said, dude. I've been a fan of him like all season.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty fun spot for him to get up and show out here. Yeah,
I respect it, dude, and I just wanted to point this out to you that we have JD Davidson higher in ADP, even though they're just flat 36s, than Tari Eason, but Tari Eason's projection is still higher than Jabari Smith Jr.'s on the site.
Of course it is.
Just needed to point that out right now. Man, Tari has been having a rough go recently. The other thing, we had the Jamal conversation there, Nez, that like Reed Shepherd's been playing pretty nice, but we saw the minutes get cut back down and playing off the bench there. When Joker comes off the floor and Sengun come off the floor and they go to that second unit, that could be a really nice setup for Jamal to score tonight because he hunts Reed.
Yeah, so, that's a really good point.
So it kind of like offsets a little bit of the Amen treatment in my mind.
I like that take.
Yeah, I just made it up, but whatever.
I mean, that's Reed's problem. That's why Reed doesn't see the floor.
Right.
Because he's a huge liability.
Yeah. Many are calling him as big a liability as those sitting beside me at a TJ McConnell game with drinks in their hands. That is
well done.
All right, dude. Let's move on. I think that's good. That's the second of the nationally televised games there. The other game in this window is Kings and Hornets are second night of a back-to-back there, and the Kings are as well. And we don't really know what to expect from these teams because we do not have injury reports for either of them. We did see the minutes. I will bring up the minutes for you guys in a half second when we talk about the Kings, but we did see them play the veterans so heavily on the Sunday slate there after DeMar DeRozan gets ruled out super late in that one. and then Westbrook plays big time minutes and stays in the ball game late, and then all of a sudden both him and Precious play like 20 last night. And now is that because it's a back-to-back and then they can justify that, oh, they're setting them up to play again this evening? I don't know, man, because I have no idea what to do with Westbrook's high ADP. I have no idea what to do with Precious if he's going to be drafted every single time when we just saw it get cut yesterday. Like, this team used to be easy to figure out. It was like just not waive the vets because they're only going to play 22 to 25 and then just play the young guys who are going to play 35 plus and just hope they get there kind of thing. But man, I might just have like I'm not playing the Kings today stance because I don't know until we find some new news from the injury report here.
I have a lot of trouble getting to the Kings. I'm at 15% Westbrook because I just think that the minutes have been safe for him. Guess I can change it at a moment's notice, but been enjoying the way things have been going for him. Like I don't want like really much of any Precious right now. It's just the matchup isn't good enough for me.
Okay.
And the minutes are not that safe. Reno, like interesting scroll, but it's not like he's got the same shitty matchup for bigs.
Yeah.
So just a pretty decent stay away spot for me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll bring up the time machine from yesterday there because they did kind of do something a little funky in this one because let me bring it up. Let me find it. There you go. They did kind of revert back on the front end of a back-to-back here when they were trying to lose in a tank-off bowl against the Pacers. And the Pacers did it, a little bit more ethically where they left Cam Jones, Jarris Walker, Huff, Naismith. I talked about this, how we saw this at the Lakers game. When they were losing to the Lakers, they still had like Micah Potter and Jay Huff on the floor and were playing these guys. And it was kind of like an ethical tank. Whereas, the Kings accidentally win this game and they just run Neek 38 minutes and then they cut Westbrook to 25, DeMar to 23, Precious to 19. And then they run all the, Killian on the 10-day, Plowden in here. And then Devin Carter kind of just closes it out for lead handling when they pull Russ. So, yeah, man, don't really know what the takeaway is for second night of a back-to-back other than like, this is probably stay away or just play the kids. Can Russ do enough in this matchup in 25 minutes to matter? Probably not at ADP 18.
Not at 25.
Yeah.
Definitely not what you're playing for, but, just feel like he's going to be able to play more against the Hornets, just because they're going to be able to lose organically.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good take where it's like, they don't have to force their hand to try and lose like this. They could just lose with dignity tonight. Yeah,
the floor is still low though. Like you're not wrong at all. Like you need 30. You need 30 minutes.
Okay. Is anybody else of interest to the Kings here? Like Reno has the tough matchup, but like, he's got an ADP of 28. We kind of had the Precious and DeRozan conversations where it's like, if you think they get vet minutes, Precious is probably worth a dart over DeRozan just because of the way things have been trending recently. And his minutes seem way safer, but like, could Neek play 38 and matter tonight?
I mean, he could play 38, but I don't know that he can. I don't know that he'll matter. It just seems like they're really going to get crushed here.
Okay. Yeah. Here's my hot spicy scroll of the night, though. I do think Devin Carter could matter on this slate, and you want to hear why?
Yes, I do.
Russ ethical tank only plays or unethical tank only plays the 22 to 25. It goes poorly. Bench run comes in early. Malik Monk gets hurt last night, does not return to the ball game. So backup second unit handling not available. Devin Carter could do the start and close, or he could do the comes on with the second unit and never leaves close there. And we've seen a little bit of ceiling from Devin Carter. And this team, of all the things they need, to my eye, to my bro science, is handling. And I think it's Devin Carter would be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I love the call. I really do. Um, it makes sense. It makes like if Monk's not out there, um, yeah, he's a rates guy. I'll say it with you. He's definitely a rates guy, and like he's a high energy too. Like he really is. So all right, man. All right.
Just
I won't
throwing
be
it out
I
there.
won't be shocked when I see it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I like that one more than the Jose Alvarado one.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. Let's talk about the Hornets here, dude. We've talked about the push pull dynamic of Grant Williams with Miles Bridges and some of those backup 5 minutes. Kobe White did not play the front end of the doubleheader in anticipation that he plays tonight. Kobe White is kind of like the 1-for-1 with Melo. When Melo comes off, Kobe comes on, tries to fill it up in a big way. So there's a little bit of a push pull dynamic there with those two. I'll never do that hand gesture again. Glad you were looking away.
What did you?
The old push pull. Good shit. Yeah, man. But we saw Brandon Miller explode last night. Melo had the fouls and had his minutes monitored. So I'll bring up kind of what happened for everybody here with the Hornets. Where am I looking? Low scoring game against the Blazers there. Concadipple plays all of the tail end of the ball game there, 35 to close, 36 for Brandon Miller, leads the team in fantasy points. Melo ends up fouling out, but was obviously super limited because of what was going on there in terms of the foul. Bridges closes in this one, which is how you see Bridges minutes, kind of hit quote unquote ceiling there. Sometimes Grant closes over him, and then that's where his minutes get cut. So the macro of it is, I think Kahn's fine in the last round. I think Miller's fine in the middle rounds. I think Diabates is fine in the last round. Melo, I'm kind of scared with Kobe White being in there, but it's really bullish that he only played 22 last night. Thoughts?
Yeah, this is one where I kind of want to get on a lot of these Hornets here. When you look at the minutes here, like I said for like the whole show, these Melo minutes I think are really bullish for him tonight.
Okay.
The one thing that I'll say too, just like get right to a scroll, is like I kind of like Moose tonight.
Yeah, like it. Sure. Zag Plant.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. That an absolute lockstep with the GOAT. Yeah, I think 10% drafted Moose is pretty fun.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good to me. I like where your mind's at there. I'm looking at, I guess the matchup would be best against Renault, probably.
Yeah, I would take a matchup against Reno any day.
Yeah, I mean, if you just flip their ADPs, you might be in a pretty good spot tonight.
I think so, dude.
Yeah.
You get 30 minutes of Moose tonight?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And like if Grant Williams doesn't play the back-to-back, he could be the guy that sits the back-to-back here. And, that there's an extra, I don't know. Some nights he plays 22. Sometimes it usually has to be a competitive game environment, but like that small ball 5 unit, you can kind of now cut those minutes out of there. And then like Kalkbrenner probably doesn't pick a bunch up. He just plays like, his 17 to 22.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good point.
Okay. All right, man. I like where your head's at with this one. Do you prefer Kahn or Diabates as the scroll tonight?
I think Moose, dude.
Okay. And then you like Melo over Miller tonight.
Yeah.
Will you have any of the naughty Bridges who ruined our dog bowl experience and took us from 2nd and 4th down to 7th and 9th?
Yuck. No. I don't think so, dude. Well, like I get it's a good spot. I don't draft him anymore. Not on these slates.
Sounds good to me, man. All right. I think we did our best without an injury report there. Yeah, we're not going to have an injury report for this next one for the T-Wolves side, but we could talk through it a little bit with the rotation stuff. T-Wolves have been really condensed and, playing really tight minutes, to be honest. Bad game last night against the Lakers, but just in general. T-Wolves 226.5, 1.5 by way of the Clippers here. Clippers looking kind of nice with it right now, man. Trying to get out of the play-in game, play-in kind of bracket there to push into that 6th seed. A lot of like fluidity in the Western Conference right now. Like even the Spurs could maybe challenge. It's unlikely, but they maybe even be able to challenge the Thunder at the very tippy top. Then there's like this big clump in the middle with like the Rockets and the Nuggets and that sort of stuff. A lot can happen in there. And then at the base there, we kind of know who the teams are going to be, but we have no idea what order they're going to be in for the Western Conference there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You very well summarized here because the Clippers are playing really good basketball, dude.
Yeah, man.
Keep them in mind for the dance.
Yeah, good shouts. Clippers have a very clean injury report here. No John Collins and no YKN Nito Hauser there, the other backup big. So they're going to be a little bit limited, which has meant that Isaiah Jackson has been playing a decent amount when he can stay out of foul troubles, but he is the cover boy of 2 quick ones. And then Bradley Beal, who's been out for the year, remains out for the year. One-time Underdog affiliated friend of the show. Clippers, dude. Let's talk about Clippers side first. Kawhi is number 2 overall. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Huge drop off from Joker to him, but he's still number 2.
All right, sounds good to me. And then Darius Garland pushed up to 30. He's been starting. It was really nice to see there. 38 fantasy points. Nice dynamic to the offense. Nice second unit handling there. Do you like Garland at or below ADP this evening?
I like him at ADP.
Okay.
His projection, I think, is like, I think it's too low. So I like being the Darius Garland drafter.
Cool. Sounds good to me. And then after that, we got Benny Math, who's, man, if you look at the box scores, it's just peaks and valleys, baby. As we've grown accustomed to with Benny Math, just peaks and valleys. He smashes in the versus the Pacers revenge game. Then he kind of falls off in a tough matchup against the Spurs. Then he gets these minutes way up to 34, 36, plays some, overlapping with the starters and closing minutes there. And you get really nice, box scores from him there. Thoughts on Benny Math tonight?
Yeah, I'm drafting Benny Math, dude.
Okay.
It's the Benny Math role I just think is so strong, peaks and valleys like you said here, but it's mostly good. It's mostly good, especially at ADP 30 against the T-Wolves, who I have no problem drafting players against. So I think Benny Math's going to play a lot. It should be a really fun game. Excited that this is like the late night hammer. I've got I'm under my ranks page here. I know I have a lot of Benny Math and Garland as far as T-Wolves go, but 20% Kawhi, 18% Garland, 18% Benny Math. So I could use a little bit more, but I'm all over this spot.
Cool. Yeah, I like it, man. We got an injury report on them. We kind of know what the rotation is going to look like. And we've seen big minutes from Benny Math, and we've seen Garland creep up. I like it, man. This is kind of like a get ahead of the models spot here. If you believe, the T-Wolves are, they haven't looked great the last couple times out here. So this could be a good spot for the Clippers to get after it and pick up some meaningful traction in the standings there. Brook Lopez continues to start there. Derek Jones Jr. is out there for defense and threes, basically, but he's had some really nice box scores in recent memory. Isaiah Jackson, we talked about the one nice box score there where he, stays out of foul trouble. Is there any reason to scroll on this team tonight? Chris Dunn, I don't know. He's primarily just defense and a little bit all over the place. Yeah, any reason to scroll here or just these 3?
No, I don't think so. I mean, like, you can, I guess, tell yourself a Brook Lopez story, but I'm not telling that story.
Okay. Sounds good to me, dude. Minnesota on the other side of this one, man, we saw them kind of grasping at straws last night. I'm not going to lie. The rotations were kind of funky because it was like they were trailing and then they're like, what can we do now? Jaden had 3 fouls, Dante had 4 fouls. Maybe that contributed a little bit to them going to like a Naz Reid, Io, and Bones Highland unit where they were just like, can we get back into this ball game and start scoring? They played more than we were anticipating, like just in terms of like players last night, but that was because of garbage time. Shannon Jr., Clark, Julian Phillips, etc., got into that game. But what are you thinking tonight, man? We don't know what to think of the injury report just yet. But basically nobody did anything last night other than sync lineups. Can it be different this evening?
Yeah, I think it's kind of nice that you can just kind of treat this as like a fresh slate here for them, and like kind of disregard what happened yesterday. Maybe even consider it bullish that they got embarrassed in LA and now they're back in LA, obviously against the Clippers here, and are trying to look for a big win against probably a softer defensive matchup here. So yeah, I think it bodes pretty well. Like I said, I have a ton of Anthony Edwards tonight, man, because I was just taking him 3 like all night, or all day, and I'm going to continue to do so. I think the trickier decision is going to be, what do you do with Randall and Gobert, which like I'm struggling with. Randall has just not been good lately. Just flat out, just not good lately.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just want to believe it and not look at the box scores. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just kind of want to believe that like Randall's trending in the wrong direction right now. And I guess that means look at the box scores. I've probably misphrased that because I'm just kind of like, yeah, man, I don't see it right now with Randall. And if he's going to get, a little bit of Derek Jones Jr., a little bit of Chris Dunn, like that sort of thing, that's probably not the best matchup on the floor for him there. Brook Lopez is waiting at the rim for him. I don't know. I kind of want to play this one like Ant and Gobert, and that's it. If you want to tell yourself a story about one of the auxiliary guys in the last round because we get a Q tag on, McDaniels, or we get a Q tag on Dante or Naz, sure. But I'm kind of in lockstep with you, man. Like, I just kind of like, this is Ant and Gobert for me. And if 38 fantasy points of mean projection for 35 minutes of Randall is what you need in the 4th round, I'm probably just not going to be there tonight.
Yeah, the thing, he just falls to the 5th is the thing.
Wow. Yeah. Time's done
so
changed.
Like, yeah, like the cheap price is like what's really enticing for me. I think I've got like 12%. It's all pretty late.
Yeah, good shouts, man. Fuck. Maybe I got to mix in a little bit then if he's going to be a 5th round pick, because, some of the names that he's going around. Well, I guess we could just pinpoint within this very same game. Would you rather play Benny Math, Garland, or Randall tonight? Because they all have very similar ADPs.
Benny Math, Garland, Randall. I would go Garland, Randall, Benny Math. I'd play it by ADP.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think I do prefer the Garland stuff, which is just not something I would expect to have said, a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he just seems like pretty well ramped up, and this is a pretty fun game here.
Just gonna circle back. Station was asking the pace up nature of Pacers game last night. Oh, here we go. We got Minnesota's trickling in right now, so I'll let it.
Good sign that it starts with Io.
Yeah. Station was asking about pace. I think this was in reference to the Kings game because he mentions the Hornet and that stuff. So Hornets are 25th in pace. The Kings are 14th in pace. Pacers are 8th in pace. So Pacers obviously, and there's a lot of noise in some of the pace numbers as we get down the line with like 65 game samples, like when we get a little bit further down the road here, there's noise because of the way teams are and the way rotations have gone, and like some units play faster for certain teams than others. So like extrapolating like what unit was on the floor for the Kings, because like a Westbrook, Sabonis and somebody unit would have played way faster than probably a Precious, Neek, and Reno one would or whatever, right? Like, so it's hard to extrapolate the samples, but just from a macro standpoint, in theory, Hornets and Kings is a slower pace game than Kings and Pacers was. So that would be kind of like the macro.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like I'm refreshing here. It looks like I've only got one coming through here. It's just IO, but we haven't got like the official submission yet.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we'll wait here. We'll wait. Yeah, IO downgraded. It's not a downgrade. It's not a downgrade. They haven't submitted a report yet, so you can't downgrade from nothing to a Q tag. So just in terms of phrases, it's an initial Q tag. So there was no tag prior. Now there's a tag because they are filing as we speak. Jets, our resident baseball guy, dropping by to say 13 days and 9 hours. Yeah, I'm thinking a lot about Canada versus Cuba right now to see if we can get through in the old WBC. All right, Nez, let's rip 2 drafts and call it a program here.
Easy enough.
Easy game. Draft number 11 for your boy. We will fire up the old solver draft assist here. Reminder to the people in the chat there, if you've not checked out the solver draft assistant before, you can get 20% off with promo code BADGE. The only place that you can get 20% off. Dropping a link in the chat there if you guys want to mess around. You could do it by a month-to-month basis too. So you can just, experiment with it and see if you like it and then see if you want to hang on. But, for our money, I think it's table stakes at this point if you're drafting on your computer.
Yeah. I just, love, I'm addicted to seeing my combos now. Especially on Joker slates, man. I think it's really important to, it doesn't, you can do it at any point in the drafts, but just knowing, like what combinations you're jamming over and over, where you're overexposed is really important.
Like it. Get your Mr. Good Boys in the chat because the neighbor's dog is barking and he's being a Mr. Good Boy by not barking back. You see his ass perk up though. He's
ready to start chirping.
Oh yeah, he's ready to let that heavy bark fly. Joker goes first. Shout out to Car Park, our guy there had some success in the hockey streets recently. Cowboy 5 Rings is in here. Chris is in here. And Benedict Matherin's dad.
Benny Mathis.
Benny Mathis. The old Sween 2X. That's what he's listening to the podcast at.
Oh. Probably sound crazy to him.
Don't worry, I sound crazy at 0.5X too. All right. Here we go. Paulo goes there. So we got the Donovan Mitchell decision. As you guys can see, this tier looks really flat, like 37, 39, 38 in terms of projection. I think we're both going to agree to start with Donovan Mitchell. Do you want to flip the board there after, Nez?
We probably should, shouldn't we?
I'd be about it, man. I'm not a huge proponent of like pairing teammates. So like pulling Mobley doesn't feel great and Harden doesn't feel great. But if you wanted to just pull Almond to this side of the board instead of Durant or pull Scotty, I'm down with those two for sure.
Let's do Scotty.
All right. Scotty Bullway it is. No Dancer Boney today, but we'll do it soon, Eggers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm playing through a major Q tag today. I'm not showing it. I'm playing through a big Q tag right now.
These LA trips aren't for the week, dude.
Say again?
LA trips are not for the week.
No. You know, I will say, and maybe this was a proponent of like actually being a participant this time. I think I behaved myself quite decently.
You did. You were locked in for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I am still me, so I'm still having fun and having some wobblies with the fellas. But you know, I think I took it seriously and didn't do too much harm to my body.
Yeah, it was easy. Yeah, I think you did well. I think you did well, and like it didn't get sweaty until the very end too. So
Mhm.
that helps too.
Yeah, true.
Like it's not like you weren't reading the room or anything.
True. Yeah, yeah. Donovan Mitchell, Scotty Bolway there. Trey Murphy goes here. This is kind of where I would just close my eyes and click Zion and Brandon Miller. But I'll hear you out on what you like, Nez.
No, I think we go Brandon Miller.
Okay.
Yeah, you did say Zion.
Yeah, I know you're a little bit out on it comparatively. I mean, we could pair BI with Scotty if you wanted. Projection likes Russell Westbrook. I'm a little bit less inclined to click his name.
No, yeah, I think Zion Zion or Garland. That's a fun
All right.
cue there.
Yeah, let's flip the board again here and rip Garland from the other side. Garland, usually resides on the other side of the board and may or may not fall to the fifth round. So if he falls to the fifth round for some combos of teams, it might not be a great decision. But if he never falls, feels half decent here.
And if he does, nothing wrong with a double scroll, right?
Preaching the choir, big fella.
Yeah, this really does have the Jokic stink on it, but we've seen crazier things happen than Jokic not breaking slates.
Yep. No, very
Like
much
Bam
so.
breaking Kobe Bryant's record.
Look no further than yesterday for the second, the high scoring modern day performance in basketball.
I'm using that as an example just for the rest of the season.
Love it. Love it. T Jones in the chat saying Ant and Paulo Start is winning the buzzer beater tonight. Hardest contest on the site to win, but if the ADPs lined up earlier today, that happened, I respect it. Yeah, that's a tough combo to get, but I could see it.
What's Chris? Chris is going Towns over Ant. Oh boy, guess I'm losing it all tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
time will tell.
I don't like that for me.
Let's see. I'm gonna see. Yeah, T Wolves no official submission just yet. Maybe in 1 minute here. Maxime Reno. Suggs goes there. DeJounte almost comes back. Benny Math is here. Do we like pairing Benny Math with Garland? Is that fine?
I think it's fine. What do you
Let's triple
think?
scroll, bro. Let's triple
All right.
scroll. Let's go.
Let's go Moose.
Let's go IQ and Moose.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it. I like that, man. Do you like? I mean, we're pairing teammates with this, but there's nothing wrong with that on a 6-gamer, especially when they're guys that rising tide. Like quickly with a couple dimes to Scotty and vice versa. Musa with the boards and a couple buckets and the stocks in tandem with Brandon Miller hitting threes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to draft a couple teammates today.
Sure.
It is what it is. But I think these pairings are good. I think Scotty with IQ, I think feels better than Scotty with RJ or BI, and any of those Hornets paired with Moose feels fine because they're not. I feel like they don't overlap quite as much.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, well said. I like it. All right. Donovan Mitchell, aka Spider, is gonna let him know tonight, and then Scotty Bolway, aka Scotty Barnes, Brandon Miller. Who do we have a nickname for Brandon Miller?
I'm sure we could think of one.
Shoulder pad.
There you go.
Darius Garland, IQ. Shout out to IQ for getting me to the dog bowl, and then Musa Diabate's in there. The Moose is loose in this lineup. Let's rip one more hump day hoops and then call it a show there, Nez, despite Egger's chagrin saying that you only worked a half day yesterday and he wants more. He demands more.
That's insane. I was doing brand outreach with the Swolecast. Ever heard of it?
Brand outreach.
I'm expanding the brand.
Is that the brand we want to be associated with?
It's like it elevates us.
It elevates us in a big way. Oh my goodness, that was good.
So nothing at the 45. Are we gonna have to wait top of the hour for the rest of this T-Wolves stuff?
Didn't come in at the 45.
I mean, nothing through unabated.
Wow. Okay. Oh, I'll check the actual filings. Let's see.
Man, another 6 spot. Jesus.
Chris told me I can change the number at the end of the PDF and then just click enter.
Yeah, but
yeah, let's see.
Yeah, you're not going to get the.
Yep, they filed. T-Wolves are clean except for IO.
Damn, dude.
Just the G Leaguers and then an IOQ tag. So we're still waiting on Kings and Hornets. That's it.
Damn.
Oh. Chris G, it's always Bam. I tried to tell you. That's good.
Big night for Chris G.
Quiver Nation's got a good point. Whatever story you want to tell yourself about a pick, you make it. Any pick you make, it can't be more unlikely than Bam scoring 83. It's true, man. It is true. Okay, so Edwards with a clean bill of health. Let's go ahead and take him at draft position 6. And then who would you like to pair him with, Nez?
Should we do Mobley this time?
Yeah, I'm down with the Mobley narrative. Let's go. Do it. Unique. I think in a vacuum, like the combos that exist on the app tonight will not do like this stuff enough. You know, like last night, there was a pretty clear line of projection that it's hard to pass on Bam plus Giannis or Bam plus JB.
Yep.
Tonight, it's like, man, if you take Amin at 7, I would not fault you, you know?
No, for sure. It gets way blurred. Pretty much like at Paulo, you know? Mm-hmm. I think you could do some crazy board flipping if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like like you could probably do like a Mobley Scotty start.
For sure you could. Yeah, I like that start. That feels like a good idea. That feels like I just put it in the notes app. Chris G wants to talk about your hair flowing by the ocean. That salt water was doing wonders to Nez's hair on the boat there. Are we going to see the lettuce return? Because if you know from the original days of the Badge Bros stream.
Yeah. No, I don't think I can grow out that hair again. That was absurd. That was big time unemployed energy, and it was fun. It was fun, but it was a pain in the ass also to maintain. So no, I can't imagine we do that again. That was a moment in time for sure.
Yeah, we had a couple of those on the program where you had the long hair for a bit. You had the mustache for a bit, like the full grown out mustache. I did the Movember mustache thing where we raised money. We've had a couple different looks.
We're out here, man. We got looks for the people. We're under talked about aspect of the boys.
Just got to keep it fresh. Interesting to see, man. Like Julius Randle popping a little bit as best available on the solver. He has a 34.78 projection, which is, not quite as good as these ones, but it just shows you like it's not insane to flip the board. I wouldn't do it with Anthony Edwards here, but who do you like, Nez?
I'm going to probably let's do BI.
Yep, BI without Scotty feels good here. Let's do the Zion one this time. We tried to do BI and Zion last time. You don't like Zion, I like Zion.
All right.
I
won't stop you. I was gonna probably suggest something worse. So,
who were you gonna suggest?
I think OG.
All right. I'll respect it with Hart out, boost the projection a little bit. Good catch and shoot matchup. Like, hitting a couple, he hits 4 corner threes tonight. Would anybody be surprised? Absolutely not. Right. So.
Yeah. Especially if our chat is giving us all of the Utah D alpha. And apparently threes are where it's at, and that's kind of OG's music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, you want to talk about a good like turnovers and transition matchup there? Like, that's OG's music too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Dyson versus Wizards thesis last week, I guess, a couple days ago.
Why not?
Yeah. RJ's been playing some nice ball. I know he was among your highest exposed, and we didn't really talk about it. But
yeah, he's been scoring a lot. He's like on a 20-point streak right now. Been playing better than BI, but I feel like they could flip. I mean, right now they seem negatively correlated big time.
Yeah, good shots. Fuck, my finger hurts, dude. I don't know how I'm gonna play tonight.
No way. 45%?
Yeah, I'm playing. I'm like fake Q tag right now, where they just put it on me out of respect, but he's playing through it. Like I'm an Ant Q tag right now, where it's just like, midday downgrade to Ant. Like, nah, that ain't a thing. I'm gonna fucking let them know with the tweet though.
All right, yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. You just fire off and let them know tweet before you go to puck, and everyone's like, "What's Jon? Like, why is Jon tweeting a cat? Look at that,
dude. That's fucking gross. Like, it's big and it's fat and it's like, how you gonna hold a stick?
Seems important, but
yeah,
what do I know?
And my tummy kind of hurt too. What do you think about doing con this time, because we didn't do them last time, and then getting to a super scroll?
Devin Carter or not on stream?
Ooh, buddy. Dude, okay, so I think Rudy fits this team well. I think Sadiq's fine, even though we have Giannis. I really like Collier. I think I want to do Collier, but I did say I would draft a Devin Carter share. Oh, shit. Did I spell his name wrong? Got it. All right. Devin Carter. Who the hell is doing that? Westbrook's going to sit tonight and or play. Actually, with the thesis of this is I kind of don't want him to sit. I just want him to play 18. And then Devin Carter plays 28 minutes with a small bit of overlap. 42 fantasy points from the last round is what we needed.
You're gonna make me draft a Devin Carter share, I think. I'm really into this now.
Yeah. Yeah, and Chris G brings up sore memories here. Live by the scroll, die by the scroll. That was the epitome of my dog bowl experience, by scrolling in the 4th and 5th round to JJJ and Bobby Portis like a boss, and then scrolling one bridge too far to Najee Marshall there. Upper body injury, can't play hockey, little finger, boo-boo. Eggers wants me to pull up my double dribble teams to end it all. I actually never even looked because it was Dog Bowl Sunday.
Really? I didn't even creep on you on BBMDB, so I'm curious.
It's probably because I got none of them. Yep. It looks like I got no best ball teams through. So maybe Eggers already creeped me and knew I got none through and then wanted to humiliate me on stream. Yeah, there we go. So I got none through. So we are done in the best ball NBA finals, but I only did 30 of them. So no dice for me. Nez, did you happen to get any through?
I got 2 through. Yeah, no BAM, but we'll see.
Praise be, my guy. You got 2 through. You only did like 17 or 18 drafts, he said.
Yeah, 17.
Fuck yeah. Ball knower.
Just one to the finals, and let's see what happens. I could use it. Your boy could use a little stimmy stim.
A little stimmy stim indeed. All right, guys. Tie bow on it there. We will be back tomorrow. Mad love to our guy Gumby and Brian, of course. Brian as well. But mad love to our guy Gumby. Drops off 50 Badge Bros memberships. He will be on the program to make it official. The Dog Bowl winner on Monday there. We'll talk through that. We got 9 games of hoops tomorrow. So we'll probably do that one forward facing. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll figure it out. But the next 2 days here, we'll have shows for you guys, but one of them will be paywall for sure, especially after 50 Badge Bros members got dropped off at our door. Mad love to you guys there. Also, if you have never used the solver before, Solver Draft Assistant, you guys can see the logo up in the corner over there and the link in the chat right now. Nez and I are calling it table stakes to participate in these games. You put your hand right through it.
Right here.
Right here. We're calling it table stakes at this point, but you can use the first time ever. They've never done anything like this before. 20% off for first-time users. Promo code badge at the door. I don't think the capital letters matter, but just put it in capital letters to fucking let them know, badge.
Yeah, actually let us know if it doesn't work.
Yes. Yes, for real, yes. Oh man. Wow, Eggers. Wow, 6 out of 35. Just wanted to flex. That's why he made me do it.
That is straight. That is such a flex.
Shout out to our guy Chris for taking it down last night. Hopefully somebody else in the community has the exact same success as he did this evening. Any parting words for the people, Nez?
See you in the lobbies?
See ya in the damn
Question
lobbies. Mark? Yeah.
I'll be there.
I am Ron Burgundy. We still got like 180 of us hanging out, sitting through all this nonsense. Appreciate you guys so much. Much love to the community. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern to talk about hoops. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.